Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Money Mindset Manifesting Business Show. Today, we have got the gorgeous Leah Barnum with us, and she's going to be talking to us about how visioning can help you design a life and business that you love. This sounds so interesting, Leah. I can't wait to get into it. Firstly, I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for coming on and being interviewed. I absolutely love this topic that we're talking about. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. Like you said, my name's Leah Barnum. I am a life coach and vision strategist. And so my passion and dream is to be able to help entrepreneurs really vision for what they want. And I'll go into what that means exactly, but vision for what they want so that you can create a life and business, not what you think you need or what everyone else tells you to be, but exactly what would be fulfilling to you. So excited to be here to talk more about it today.
That, that's awesome. I just want to read your bio real quick because I think it is so interesting. Leah Barnum is a certified life and vision coach, as she has said, dedicated to helping ambitious professionals and entrepreneurs design a vision that provides direction and inspiration towards building a life they love. Leah has mastered transformational principles that she applies not only in her life, but also in the lives of her clients. She specializes in helping driven individuals clarify their visions, accelerate results, and create richer, more fulfilling careers and personal lives. This sounds absolutely incredible. These transformational principles that you have mastered, Leah, what is that? That tickles my fancy. If you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is really mindset, right? So much of what we do and the results that we get are based on what we're thinking. And so I was blessed to be able to work with a coach that was a transformational coach that really helped me learn different ways of thinking and how, and being able to become really aware of what I was thinking. So not only what I'm thinking, but noticing if the thought is not aligned with what I'm trying to do. And so, yeah, a lot of it is mindset. And then the visioning was a huge of really just thinking about what you want and then building towards that.
So you said now visioning. So what is visioning specifically? Because in my head, I coach on visualizing. What is
Uh-huh.
the difference? Because it is how visioning can help you design your
Yeah.
life and not how visualizing. If you could
Yes.
just explain that to us, because that to me is so interesting, the difference between the two.
Yeah, so quickly before, a lot of times we'll live our lives what I like to call by default, right? Our lives have gotten to a place and then life is just coming at us and we're reacting. And this is what our life. We'll say things like, I'm just rolling with what life brings me, or, you're just reacting to whatever life you've created. And so what I
Yeah.
really try to encourage my clients is, okay, but let's put that aside. If you could have anything, what would it be? What would it look like? And so I'll have my clients close their eyes and, like you do, visualize, what does that look like 3 years from now? If I were to give you a time machine, you're going to go 3 years from now. If you could have anything for your business, for your life, for your family, what would it be? And you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen, or, you have all the time, all the money, all the resources, but what would you want? Right? That's a question. It's such a simple question, but it's not one that we often ask each other.
No.
So then,
Yes.
we visualize, what does that look like? And then we write it out on paper. And there's something really magical that happens when you take pen to paper and write out. And I encourage my clients to use feeling tones. I'm so excited, I'm so proud, I'm so happy. And so then you create this kind of roadmap of, this is exactly what I would love to have in my life. And you say, okay, great. Now we can go backwards and create goals and steps in order for us to get there.
Oh, okay. So that makes a lot of sense. So it's not just, oh, just think about it and visualize it. It's then taking an action to write it
100%.
down. It's almost like you
100%.
grounding it into the cells of your body, right? Like really
Yeah.
work subconscious by doing that. Yeah.
And
Um,
when you can ground it and you can go back and reread it, right? And when you reread it, you generate the feelings again, and you can reread it every single day. And so you're in that energy of what you want every day, and you will start to think as though you're the person in your vision. You'll start to think as that person. And so it's really powerful when you have something to reference daily.
Of course. And I'm sure in the beginning you don't really know what to think about. And as you read it more, it kind of expands and you have to add to it. You're like,
Yes.
oh, I have to do this and we're going to do this. And I love that expansion of the vision as well.
Yeah.
It's not just straightforward. I love the magic of that. Um, so what role would this vision play in helping women go from a burnout situation? I mean, honestly, my previous guest, we literally just spoke about entrepreneurs being burnt out, and not even, I think everyone in society, right, is just so burnt out. So would you be able to use the vision, the visualizing, the role play that you were saying, in helping you from burnout, uncertainty, to go into clarity, and even in your business itself become aligned in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's two parts. I feel like we when we're entrepreneurs, when we don't have a clear vision of where we want to go, if we look at it like a cross-country road trip, right? And if you don't have an end destination, you're kind of just driving around and you're hitting goals and you're stopping, and that's successful. But when we don't have a plan, there's lots of opportunities that come to us and we just take them. Oh, this is going to be a good, opportunity here. We're going to be a good opportunity here. And so it kind of depletes your resources, it depletes your energy. When also we don't have a plan, I feel like as entrepreneurs, we just get tired, right? There's just a lot, especially if you're a smaller entrepreneur, you're doing it all, right? That burnout. And when we don't have a plan, I think oftentimes you may be doing things that you don't love, right? You can get burnout because you're not aligned with what you're doing. And so you are going to work to a job, or you're running a company that doesn't feel good inside. You might like it, but do you love it? Is it going to give
Yeah.
you life every day? So when you can have a vision, your vision is your alignment, right? It is something that you would love. And so you're constantly trying to go to that. And so as an entrepreneur, when you have a vision for what you want for your business, then you're moving your business towards what feels aligned, what feels centered. And that kind of eases the burnout, because when you love what you're doing, right, you're not going to burn out as easily because you're fulfilled, you're passionate, you're excited about what you're doing. And so, yeah, the vision can really help build direction and clarity to where you're going, which I think lessens the chaos of an entrepreneur, right? Really focuses you and gives you a track of where you're going. And that kind of eases the burnout when you feel
I
aligned,
think
and you feel like you're going somewhere.
it comes back to that grounding every single day in certainty. Even
Mhm.
though you don't know how it's going to happen, it's still on
Ah,
ground in certainty. I'm working towards this.
yes.
Um, but now, for listeners watching or listening, if they don't know what the vision is for their business, if they just knowing that they're just doing it for, to get some money for the end of the month, or to buy that bread for, for the next morning,
Ah,
if they don't have a vision, how do they even start imagining one? If you say
yeah.
3 years from now, I mean, a week from now is hard for some people to imagine.
I 100% understand that. Yeah. There's two signals that we get, and what from whatever you believe, whether it's God, the universe, infinite intelligence, and it's longing and discontent. So you'll feel things inside that would be like, oh, I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to have a podcast, and we push it down
Yes.
like, I don't have the money right now. I'm going to wait till the kids go off to college, whatever. Those are signals from inside saying that is what you would love, right? And so we have to start to like listen to that a little bit and kind of get quiet and really allow ourselves to kind of feel like, yeah, there's actually a lot I love. It's nothing I'm doing right now. And that's okay, right? We have to pay the bills. But then in your vision, it would be like, I would love to take 2 months off to start writing a book. I would, like that is where, and then you're aligned, right? And so your vision is really, but we have to start to listen, and that's how we can start to hear those signals of what we would love. So the longing, things we love, or discontent. I don't like this. I don't like that I'm away from my family working so much. I don't like that I never have any time for myself. I don't. And so you have to listen to that. And then we would put the opposite in the vision, right? I would love a job that allows me,
Okay.
3-day weekends, or that I could pick my kids up from school every day, or whatever that is for you. Again, it doesn't have to make sense at the level of fact, but if that would be fulfilling to you, then that goes into your vision. And then we say, okay, what's one thing I can do with what I have and what I know today to get me towards that? So you can still have what you might be needing to do to pay for your bills, but you're developing a vision that would really be in alignment based on kind of listening to what your soul is telling you, right? We're
Yeah,
talking, it's trying to expand and have this freer, fuller, big life. We just don't, as humans, often listen to it. So when we can kind of get
yeah,
quiet and listen to that, then it can tell us a lot.
yes. I love when you said, um, first get clear on what you don't like,
Yeah.
and then the opposite of that. I love that. That to me is a nugget of gold, right? Because it is hard when you say to someone, what is your goal? What is your vision? It's like, dude, I'm surviving. I'm
Yeah.
getting through today, through this
Yes.
moment. And I love that. Okay, sit down and just write out, what don't I like about my life? What don't I like about my business, my clients, all the things, and then start building the vision. I think
Yeah.
that is absolutely beautiful. So, what has been the biggest transformation that you have seen in a client after they've literally committed to saying, I'm going to build a vision and I'm going to work, that is my goal. It's not just day to day.
Yeah.
What would the biggest transformation be that you have seen in clients?
When you've committed and decided that that's what you want, right? There's a decision that gets made, and then there's a belief in your vision. Like, this can happen. I am in full belief that everything that I want, it can happen. It's so beautiful to see clients be able to just get clarity. What they create on social media becomes more clear because they know what they want, right?
Oh,
How they interact with their clients becomes so much more, the messaging becomes clear. Like, it's almost as though you just hone in, and then when you feel aligned with something, like, words flow. Your energy that you go into a meeting is different, right? And so yeah, I think the biggest transformation I've seen is just, especially in women, you get a confidence when you feel aligned. There's a confidence that comes, and you show up in a way that is so beautiful, is so powerful. And then you just start going. And it's so incredible how you can see that your business starts to grow because you have the direction, you know where you're going, and everything, all the pieces fall into place. And then you're just kind of
yeah,
moving towards that goal. So I think, yeah,
yeah,
that confidence, I think, is one of the biggest things. And I think when you have confidence as an entrepreneur, the sky's the limit. Like, watch out, right? Because I'm going, and no one can stop me.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. And we were saying that when the fear and the doubt comes in, you've got that certainty or the grounding, but this is my vision. And you
Mhm.
can really overcome all the obstacles because suddenly answers come to you in the most bizarre ways. You attract people that have got the answers, and you attract things as long as you just keep being open to that vision. And I was going to ask you about, what does aligned action look like? And you
Mhm.
literally just answered it. Right? It's not just take action from a masculine point of view where it's like, go, 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 let's get the work done.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
really this feminine energy that comes through. And
Yeah.
like, I can't tell you what my aligned action is going to be tomorrow.
No,
You
yeah.
just follow that energy and you follow the vibe, and off you go. It's not suddenly this to-do list that you have to tick off.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think that was quite special about the aligned action. I think that was really awesome. Um, is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about this? I know that you said you have. Let me actually talk about the free offering because that's really cool.
Please.
Everybody watching, listening, Leah has a free offering. I've dropped all the links in the description below for you to actually start getting so clear on your vision. It is basically a daily design journal that you can download. It's a 2-page journal with prompts morning and evening, but I really want Leah to tell us a little bit more about this because I promise you this is juicy. You're going to want to grab it immediately.
And this is be a perfect place to start. If you're new to visioning, you're like, I'm not really quite sure. This is a perfect place to start because really what visioning is being intentional. And it's really getting your mind wrapped around what it is you want. And so it's a 2-part journal and it's you can print it out, so you can print it out every day. But it in the morning, it's called Morning Momentum. And really it's starting your day with, exactly being in the mindset of how you want to spend your day. So you have a grateful list. You can put things that you're grateful for. One of my favorites is the to be list, which is 3 words that describe exactly who you want to be that day, right? And so when you make an intention for that, you're remembering that. You're like, I want to be confident, I want to be powerful, and I want to be focused today. You're setting an intention and then you're going into your day that way. And I love that so much. And then really being intentional, like what do you want to do? What are your non-negotiables for the day? And I think sometimes when we can differentiate that between the long to-do list, you're like, okay, at the end of the day, I got these 3 things done. Incredible, right? Like the
Yes,
to-do list is still there, but these things had to be done today. And so you can feel some success just starting your day like that.
yes.
That's the morning. And I think it's so quick, can do 10 minutes with your morning tea or coffee. And it's just a beautiful way to start your day with intention. And then the evening is the evening reflection. And that's really kind of the counterpart to it, right? Like taking your day and saying, okay, what worked? What didn't? What am I grateful for again? Because gratitude brings abundance. And then, when you can think about what didn't work, it's not a shameful thing. It's just like, I'm going to try something new tomorrow. Right. And so you're
Yeah.
teaching yourself to be like, that didn't really work. I wasn't really productive in that. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Um, and I just think that it's so beautiful to end your day with just some celebrations too and some wins. What are 3 things that were awesome today? That's something I really try to work on is, as entrepreneurs, we're like, we hit this goal. What's next? What's the next thing? What's
Yeah.
the next thing? And so when we can stop every night and be like, I crushed it today. Like I did a really great job at these small little things. That's going to give you the confidence for the next day. So yeah.
And honestly, if everything fell apart, it's like I shaved without cutting myself today. It's
100%.
right. It's honestly, I think, recognizing a million small moments in your day that was actually incredible. And I think as humans, we just brush over it and it just becomes the norm.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you really hone into that,
Yeah.
um, like everything starts expanding and becomes beautiful. And I love the morning routine so much because we forget. As humans, we forget about our vision. I can tell you over the years, I've written goals down that I've honestly it's completely slipped my mind. Probably because the reptile brain came in and said, you can't do it. It's not going to work. Who do you think you are? You're
Yeah.
not big enough and small enough and, tanned enough
Yeah.
or white enough, whatever, right? Or the government and your parents and you simply just forget about the goal. And I love this repetition. It's very much reprogramming the subconscious mind over and over. And you were saying what works, what doesn't work. I so often tell my clients, always look at a situation, especially if it was a failure, because I think the brain focuses on that so much. If they have a
Mhm.
launch or they have a whatever and it failed, what went right, what went wrong, how do I do it differently? And you just stick to that and you just
Mhm.
override that reptile brain of fear and doubt. But that's
Yeah.
that repetition that I just love it. I think I'm gonna grab that as well.
It's so
Because
yes. It's
yeah,
so
I think
good.
everyone should go ahead and grab that because I think, and it's not even a matter of printing it out every day, right? You can
No,
take
I
it,
mean, you could just
copy
put,
it
yeah,
into your
as a template.
journal. Yes, you
100%.
copy it into
Yeah.
your journal and you just
And
do
make
it's
it
a
easy.
beautiful self-care habit. I think like brushing your teeth. Just pretend you're brushing your teeth every morning and every night.
Yeah.
But
And
this is for your soul,
you
your
can
future.
stack it on something else, right? So if you're making your coffee, maybe you're, as it's going, you're writing it. Like stack it on something you do every morning so that it just
Yes.
becomes something that you already do. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is clever. That's
Yeah.
really clever. I love that. Um, So I've dropped Leah's socials. She's on Instagram. I've dropped it in the description below, as well as her website. On your website, are there programs and courses, coaching calls? What have you got on your website?
Yeah, absolutely. I have ways to grab a call with me and just kind of sometimes I love to just take a call and just see where you're at, right? And we can kind of
Okay.
figure out what that looks like. Yeah, I have programs. I have and I do a lot on Instagram. So I have a workbook on there on Instagram. That's like a whole
Oh,
vision workbook that you could download. And so yeah, it's there's a lot there. But yeah, you can find all of the stuff on my website.
okay. So that's a great one. It is in the description below. So everyone watching, listening, tell us one thing in the comments that you would love to start visualizing. You don't have to write a paragraph, like one thing. So Leah was saying that one thing of, oh, I've always wanted to do this thing. What is that thing? Drop it
Mhm.
in the comments for us. We would love to comment and celebrate you, and just it's almost like holding you responsible and accountable, so that you then start visualizing that thing every day, grounded in. And of course, if you have any questions for Leah about anything we've spoken about, please comment on it. And we would love to get back to you. Leah, thank you so much. What a lovely, lovely interview. So
Thanks.
refreshing, so uplifting. Just love visualizing the possibilities of a bigger life and expansion of that. And I think that's exactly what this conversation was. We just speak about expansion of your soul, of your life, of your experiences, of your happiness, all the beautiful things. So I really appreciate you for coming on. I value your time so much.
Oh,
And I
thank
would
you.
love to connect again. Absolutely lovely.
Yes.
Until we chat again.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're so welcome, sweetheart.
Oh,
Lots of love. Bye.
thank you.